So I have my first 4 statements, and then I'm going to let the Lord use me like they say in church. All right. I am enough to shoulder the weight of being an entrepreneur and employer. I am enough to move WLW Healing House from 1 house to 10. I am woman enough to be his lover, their mother, their sister girl, their boss, and your inspiration. I am woman enough to embrace everything about me, from my ratchetness to my sexiness, from my introvert that sometimes can be a little bit much for others, to my extrovert, because that's how people expect for me to always be, right? I am woman enough to be all those things and more. And the reason that I am woman enough to be all those things and more is because I fully embrace who I am. I'll be 43 at the end of this year, and it's taken me about 10 years to fully understand who Wendy is. So Wendy is woman enough to be okay when not having all the answers. Wendy is woman enough to be able to admit that it is okay that when I was younger, I screwed some shit up. Wendy is woman enough to admit that I have 4 heartbeats, and there were times that I wasn't my best version of me, so that I could not pour into them the way they needed to be poured into. Wendy is woman enough to admit that sometimes I'm not always the perfect therapist, but I am the therapist that they need. Wendy is woman enough to admit that even though my mama got all up in my space, I commend her because she always got my back. Wendy is woman enough to tell her mother, thank you for being everything I needed you to be. Wendy is woman enough to admit that I would be nowhere without Patrice, Taylor, and Portia. Wendy is woman enough to walk into a space and have the courage and the confidence to truly believe that I own the space, that I am the space, and I'm enough to take up space and be everything that I need so I can continue to be what you need. Thank you.